Shalom to the whole family of Israel. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh, named Holy Beyond Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, and Mashiach, Yahushua. I want to give a salutation to all the mighty men, mighty women, and mighty children of Israel. And today's lesson is, Satan wants you to celebrate Thanksgiving. Now, let's get the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and the table of devils. Mic drop. You can't keep these pagan holidays and then keep the celebrations of the Lord, which none of you are doing. You guys don't keep the commandments. There's so-called holidays, they're called high holy days in the Bible that there's already there, the Feast of Tabernacles, Purim. But yet you guys are keeping Thanksgiving, made by your oppressors who sent you into chattel slavery. When you keep Thanksgiving, it is idolatry. You're serving another god. Because you're not serving the Most High. The holiday Thanksgiving's nowhere in the Bible. As I specified before, there's already high holy days, but you guys are breaking the first and second commandment by doing this. Because when you sit at the table of God and keep His high holy days, you're serving Him. But when you keep Thanksgiving, you're serving a demon. Let's get down to the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's what you guys are doing. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And you guys, I want you guys to see, look how he's jealous. He has no, I don't think you guys understand what it means to keep His commandments. You guys, all of this stuff that you're doing is against God. The Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, if you just celebrated Halloween, you were in sin, you need to go repent. He said not do that anymore. You can't worship anything other than God. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So He gives mercy to those who keep His commandments. Now, holidays or high holy days, as they call in the Bible, are really important. Because when you keep the high holy days, like the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Dedication, that's you serving God. But you do Thanksgiving serving devils. That's how important these celebrations are. You can't just keep any celebration. It's very, very strict. What you're doing is idolatry. And idolatry is the beginning of all evil, according to God. Let's get down to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 27. For the worshiping of idols, not to be named, is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. What more do I have to say? Idols. Your Thanksgiving is an idol. Your cornucopia is based off of some Greek fable with Zeus or whatever. Does Zeus have anything to do with God? Or does God hate Greek mythology because it's causing people to worship other gods? That's literally what it's doing. You can't worship any other thing, including making your celebrations to it in the form of holidays like Thanksgiving, other than God. The book of Leviticus chapter 19 verse 4. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make yourselves molten gods. I am the Lord your God. And don't try to say that you're keeping Thanksgiving in God's name, because He doesn't hear you. You're keeping it in the devil's name. This is the dark truth about Thanksgiving. We're going to prove that Thanksgiving is a pagan holiday. Is Thanksgiving a Christian holiday? No. America and Canada have them, but other people do not. This is despite most Christians living outside the North America continent. However, it evolved from the Harvest Festival, which is celebrated in Anglican churches, and likely others, but predates Christianity. So as you can see, it is a pagan holiday. Autumn harvest festivals have pagan origins that can be traced back to animistic beliefs in the spirits of corn, literal corn demons, corn spirits. Some farmers believe that a spirit lived in the last sheaf of grain and would beat it into the ground to chase it out. So as you can see, part of Thanksgiving is you worshiping a corn spirit. Now let's get to the definition of animism. From Latin, anima, meaning breath, spirit, life, is the belief that objects, places, and creatures all possess a distinct spiritual essence. Animism perceives all things, animals, plants, rocks, rivers, weather systems, human handiwork, and in some cases words, as being animated, having agency and free will. Animism is used in anthropology of religion as a term for the belief system of many indigenous peoples. In contrast to the relatively more recent development of organized religions, animism is a metaphysical belief which focuses on the supernatural universe, specifically on the concept of immaterial soul. All that BS that I just read, this is what Thanksgiving is based off of. A lot of you guys keep pagan holidays such as birthdays, Christmases, and Thanksgiving, but you have no clue the pagan origins of all of these holidays. Mabon, a pagan holiday that celebrates the autumnal equinox and the mid-harvest festival. The name Mabon is a modern invention, but the holiday combines ancient harvest festival traditions with modern pagan interpretations. This is another wicked thing that's associated with Thanksgiving. Lunasad, a festival that may have involved a struggle between two gods for the harvest. Kramdub guarded the grain, while the other god, Lo, fought to seize it for humanity. Do you see the madness this is based off of? Nothing to do with God. God hates you for this. And you guys think, oh, happy hate Thanksgiving. No, it's happy witchcraft. You're going to a lake of fire. In America, it's believed that the first Thanksgiving took place in 1621, but this was not the first time people gathered to give thanks for the autumn harvest. In fact, people have been celebrating the harvest for millennia, and our Thanksgiving meal is just a modern incarnation reflecting these ancient celebrations of autumn abundance. And the harvest festival is the pagan origin for Thanksgiving. Most of our modern holidays, like Christmas and Easter, are a combination of pagan and Christian traditions. Thanksgiving, on the other hand, doesn't have as much of Christian influence. While Thanksgiving is not tied to any specific religion, its traditions are quite similar to a number of ancient pagan harvest celebrations. For example, in ancient Rome, they celebrated the holiday Cerealia, which honored the harvest goddess of grain called Ceres. There are around 100 different harvest gods, 100, and goddesses from Greek and Roman culture, not from God. So it's clear that celebrating the harvest season was a key feature of their spiritual beliefs. That's why we said at the beginning, you can't eat at the table of God and the table of the devil. If you're eating at Thanksgiving, you're eating at the table of the devil. You cannot associate yourself with this holiday or eat of the food of that table. And don't try to be slick and go pick up a plate either. If you eat any bit of that, you're eating of the table of devils. So you can't even, because that's what Thanksgiving is. It's eating that. And according to the Lord, when you eat that food, that's the food itself is a sacrifice to devils. So that food is unclean. Don't even touch it. It's like eating pork. Harvest celebrations were also vitally important during Celtic and Anglo-Saxon pagan times. In Britain, these traditions evolved into a holiday called Harvest Home. Historically, the date of Harvest Home differed each year as it was celebrated. When all of the autumn crops were finally harvested, the final cartload of food was paraded through the town, and a big harvest supper was celebrated among the villagers. Apparently, these harvest suppers started to get a bit out of hand, and in 1867 were described as unrestrained riot and excess. Doesn't the Lord condemn us for reveling and rioting? This is what you're celebrating. In addition to Harvest Home, a separate religious holiday called the Days of Thanksgiving was practiced in the Church of England, in which people set aside one religious day of their choosing to give thanks to God. We get the name Thanksgiving from this Christian tradition, while the feasting commonly associated with Thanksgiving largely derives from the Harvest Home celebrations. This is why Christianity is demonic. All they do is accept pagan customs to get more followers to their pagan religion. Harvest Thanksgiving celebrations were never commandeered by the church, and as such, they remained pretty pagan to this day. Here in America, a lot of our imagery around Thanksgiving shows a shared meal between the Pilgrims and the Native Americans. It could be said that this rosy view of our first Thanksgiving meal together is largely misleading and helps to obscure the many atrocities the colonists committed upon the Native Americans. The Native Americans, like the ancient pagan peoples of Europe, understood the importance of honoring and respecting the harvest, and during the first American Thanksgiving that took place in 1621, the Native Americans paused to give thanks to many spirits and deities that aided in the bountiful harvest. Now let's be clear here, the Native Americans that they're talking about are not the Pocahontas people. These are black people who are from the tribe of Gad and Reuben. And these are Israelites, they're children of the Most High, and they're a little bit confused, clearly, back then. And unfortunately, they were to idolatry, just like the Edomites, even though they were still keeping Judean customs. The symbols. There are three key symbols that are common to Thanksgiving celebrations. The cornucopia, aka horn of plenty, the turkey, and corn. Remember that corn spirit? All these symbols were viewed as very important among pagan societies. Let's begin with the cornucopia, which was an important symbol in ancient Greece and Rome. A cornucopia is a horn-shaped basket that is usually filled with harvest fruits and vegetables. This symbol goes back to a story from ancient Greece where a goat pulled off his horn and offered it to the god Zeus. Pagan god Zeus, he's not real. This is a magic horn, witchcraft, that would refill indefinitely, doesn't exist, with food and drink, ensuring that Zeus would never go hungry. Why would he go hungry? He's supposed to be a god. Like, even your own pagan religion sucks. To give thanks to the goat, Zeus made the goat's image in the night sky, which became the constellation we now call Capricorn. Which again, the star signs, the constellations is all witchcraft and demonry. The cornucopia was also incorporated in statues and money across ancient Rome, and was often used in representations of goddesses of grain, Ceres, and the goddess of luck, Fortuna. The cornucopia has even made an appearance in American currency. After all, the cultural identity of early America is largely inspired by ancient Greek and Roman culture and their systems of government. And this is why America is Rome. And yes, we know according to the Bible, America is also is spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom. It's Babylon. It's a daughter of Babylon. And the reason why it's all of these different things is because it's every mighty nation, wicked nation that's came before it. And heck, they even stole a little bit from the Israelites and then paganized it. The next symbol is the turkey, which is the centerpiece of the American Thanksgiving dinner. Many Native American tribes view turkey as a symbol of fertility and abundance. As a totem animal, turkeys remind us of the importance of our relationship with the land, as the land is a source of our nourishment and sustenance. Turkey feathers are also viewed as especially important and are used in ritual wear and in smudging ceremonies. So when we eat turkey at Thanksgiving, we are celebrating and honoring the connection we have with our sacred land and the animal spirits. Now obviously the land is not sacred. Animal spirits are demonic, and that's why you see those Native American Pocahontas people with the feathers on their hats, because they're worshiping turkeys. The Native Americans, the tribe of Gad and Reuben, the Black Indians, also made totem poles which had turkeys on them. Lastly, corn is often used as a symbol to represent Thanksgiving. Corn, also called maize, was a key staple crop among the Native Americans, and it played an important role in their spiritual beliefs. In some tribes, corn itself was seen as a spirit, and often it played a role in ceremonies. Historically, it is also believed that the Native Americans taught the Pilgrims how to grow and harvest corn, and without that knowledge, they would have never survived the harsh winters. Feasting with the old gods. Before the rise of Christianity in the Western world, the holiday calendar looked a lot different than it does today. Across Europe, the pre-Christian pagans held all manner of seasonal celebrations, marking the coming of spring, for example, as well as the summer and winter solstices. But some of the biggest festivals occurred around harvest time. This was a time to give thanks to the gods for the bountiful harvest and to celebrate the success of another growing season. There were many different types of harvest festivals, but the biggest three were Lammas, Mabon, and Samhain, each honoring different gods and celebrating different parts of the harvest and the changing of the seasons. Christians capitalize on pagan festivals. All holidays adapt and evolve as time passes. It's only natural. However, pagan holidays have a remarkable track record of unwillingly becoming the basis for Christian celebrations. Again and again throughout history, the Christian church has co-opted pagan festivals for its benefit. From Christmas to Easter, Christians who sought to supplant the pagan faith with their own mastered the technique of incorporating pagan symbols, traditions, and lore to newly created Christian holidays, thus making it easier to convert more people to the church. As you may have suspected, harvest festivals are no different. The rise of Harvest Home. As Christianity overtook the pagan faith as the most popular religion in Europe, the celebrations of the harvest were bound to evolve too. In England and Ireland, what emerged was a 3-day festival called Harvest Home that featured a great feast to mark the last of the grain getting safely stored for the winter. This modified tradition incorporated elements of pagan customs, but also had some heavily Christian influences. The festival began with a special church service, for example. It was this Christianized harvest festival that provided the basis for the American holiday of Thanksgiving. And yet there is another twist to the story. Puritans shun pagan roots. Here's the thing, the Puritans, the first English settlers in North America, weren't big on celebrating Harvest Home. In fact, they rejected this harvest festival entirely, as well as other holidays like Christmas and Easter, due to their pagan roots. See, they knew the truth. The Puritans recognized that pagan celebrations had been merged with Christian beliefs with the goal of converting people to the faith, and thus they weren't comfortable participating. But there were good reasons to celebrate the harvest. Starvation was a real threat for early European settlers in North America, and especially in New England, where the winter climate was fierce and unforgiving. The first Thanksgiving is widely traced back to Plymouth in 1621, when members of the Wampanoag tribe gathered with the Pilgrims for a harvest feast which perhaps saved the newcomers from starvation. And don't let Esau confuse you. These are the tribe of Gad, black. Gad, Native Americans. Reuben, Seminole Indians. This is who we're talking about. These are black people. From the tribe of Israel. They're Israelites. And here's some examples of those black Indians from the Wampanoag tribe.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth.
Many don't view the first Thanksgiving as an event worth celebrating at all. For people of Native American ancestry, this event marks the beginning of centuries of turmoil, death, and destruction of their lands at the hands of white settlers. But yet, when you try to explain this to you Negroes, you don't give a darn. Native American harvest festivals. Like the pagans of Europe, for thousands of years, Native American tribes have been holding harvest celebrations to thank their gods and spirits for the bounty of the season. Although harvest deities vary from tribe to tribe, many Native American cultures paid homage to creator gods that were believed to have helped the Great Spirit complete the earth in its physical form. One such creator god was the Earth Mother, who some tribes believed was the one to bring corn, a harvest staple to the Native American people. They like corn too much. Different regions and religious denominations across the U.S. would develop unique versions of this seasonal celebration. However, it wasn't until late 19th century that the country rallied around the unified national holiday that was officially named Thanksgiving. But in this modern version of the ancient harvest celebration, many centuries removed from the pre-Christian roots, we can still see prominent symbols from other religions. Now, if you're messing around with any of these pagan holidays, these pagan traditions, God is going to destroy you. Let's get that in the book of Exodus, chapter 22, and verse 20. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. When you keep Thanksgiving, you're sacrificing. When you're eating, that's making a sacrifice. Alright? Now let's go to the book of Numbers, chapter 25, verse 2. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bowed down to their gods. We don't need to rename them. We already went down all the pagan gods you're worshiping when you keep Thanksgiving. You're bowing down to all those nasty demons. The book of Leviticus, chapter 17, verse 7. And they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. We already read that God is a jealous God, so why would you tempt the Lord? Don't try to justify your Thanksgiving this year. Just don't do it. Thanksgiving is about the murder of Native American Indians, the tribe of Gad and Reuben. The devil, white people, came onto the shores of America and murdered millions of Israelites. Every single time they massacred a village, they did a feast and called it Thanksgiving. George Washington was known as the village destroyer. Abraham Lincoln officially made Thanksgiving a federal holiday in 1863. Black people were still in slavery in 1863. What are we celebrating for? This has nothing to do with Thanksgiving or thanking God for your family. The Lord hates your feast days. This day is ungodly. You cannot have fellowship with the devil and fellowship with God at the same time. You cannot serve two masters. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are Israelites. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, you are wicked as hell, and the Lord is going to punish you. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice unto devils, and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. That's what you're doing with Thanksgiving. And I say these things to free you, because this is the truth. The book of John chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And free from your sins that you're committing. Because when you commit sins, you're a slave to the devil. Now, we already got the tribes of Gad and Reuben, but let's go a little bit deeper into the northern tribe. Let's get how the Israelites got over here to America, which is also known as Arsareth in the Bible. The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the times of Hosea the king, who Salmanazar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took his counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into the further country, where never mankind dwelt. Through all of human history, no humans ever came to America. The Native Americans, the blacks, were the first ones to get here. The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 42. That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. So we're still talking about the northern tribe and how they got to America. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. So the Most High helped the northern tribe get to the Americas. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Arsareth, which is another name for North America. And you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to keep Thanksgiving anyways, because you're disobedient. That's just who you are. And we can get that in the book of Baruch, chapter 1 and verse 19. Since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt unto this present day, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our God, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice. The Most High tells you to not keep these heathen ways, but you do it anyways, and that's why we're in the curses. We can get that in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So then the Lord just goes on to this list of all these curses. Christians act like they believe in Jesus, but Christ left us an example to follow. The book of 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps. And sorry, he never kept Thanksgiving. That's for dang sure. He did keep the Feast of Dedication. And one of the things he did tell us is don't envy the oppressors. The book of Proverbs chapter 3 verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. If you want to keep Thanksgiving because all the Edomites are doing it, well, that's you envying him. Don't be sad because you don't do it. Be happy because you're free. These crusty, pale-skinned skinwalkers are the ones who massacred our people, the blacks. And why would you keep these pagan holidays kept by these heathens? Alright? Because we're supposed to be a special people that's separate from them. So don't want to be like them. We can get that in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people. Holy means separate. Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Stop acting like you're the same as these heathens. The Lord separated us, and we can get that in the book of Leviticus chapter 20 verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. I think you black people need to get out of your Gentile mindset. I know it's hard to see yourself in this spot, but this is talking about you. And as I mentioned earlier, anything that you eat and sacrifice to these devils, including Thanksgiving dinner, is unclean. You might as well be eating pork. And some of that stuff really does have pork in it. Like sometimes you got ham, you got grease in the pork grease in the stuffing. Nasty. Let's get down to the book of Leviticus chapter 20 verse 25. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean. And ye shall not make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. You cannot eat that uncleanness. The Lord wants you to walk straight to get to the kingdom of heaven. Don't turn to the right or the left. Let's get down to the book of Proverbs chapter 4 verse 27. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. It's a straight and narrow path to the kingdom of heaven. And here's a golden mic drop for you Thanksgiving keepers. The book of Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. If you don't want to be a partaker of the sins of Babylon, then you gotta keep God's commandments. And keeping Thanksgiving, that's not pleasing God. That's angering him. And so what you live in Babylon the Great? So what you live in America? You don't have to learn their ways. You don't have to keep their customs. Just abstain. The book of Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 10. Thus saith the Lord, Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. The Lord saying, don't learn the way of the heathen. Don't learn their Thanksgiving. Don't learn any of their traditions. This is about Thanksgiving right here. The book of Amos chapter 5 verse 21. I hate. The Lord said he hates. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Whoa. Don't you guys say, so don't we all hold hands and say, let's thank God for our family? What are you thankful for this year? God doesn't hear any of that because you're doing it at Thanksgiving. You might as well be eating pork and giving the middle finger. It'd be better if you just did nothing at all. And you justify your wickedness by saying you're doing it in the name of God. But I just told you, you're doing it in the name of devils. The book of Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 5. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord. And if you got family members telling you, no, you can't do that. Don't keep the laws of God. You got devils in you. You're in a cult. You're gonna die for that. They're condemning you for that. Well, you're an abomination to the Lord, and you try to justify the wicked. You try to justify your thanksgiving. You try to say that, oh, it's okay because we're doing it in the name of the Lord. No, you're doing it in the name of the devil. Anyone who keeps the commandments, they're the ones who are going to gain eternal life. And stop with this crap about Jesus came and everything changed. You're a liar, and we're going to prove it. The book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, which it will never, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till it all be fulfilled. Alright, look, it says till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Now, let's get an example of a jot or a tittle in the law. The laws that you guys are supposed to keep. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. So the Lord commands that we keep the high holy days that are in Leviticus 23, not Thanksgiving. Just in case you guys forgot, let's get this. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Sorry, you can't be at Thanksgiving. You can't justify it. You can't get a plate. Don't even acknowledge it. Don't eat no Thanksgiving cookies. Don't go to a Thanksgiving cookout or a potluck. None of that. So today, we learned that, yes, Satan really does want you to celebrate Thanksgiving because it's a pagan holiday. That's great. That's exactly what he wants. And you are bending over, grabbing your ankles, and letting him pound you when you let yourself give in to sin. Why is it so difficult for you to give up these holidays and just do the commandments of the Most High? Just do them. The Lord is a jealous God, and He won't forgive you if in the weakness of your flesh you decide to keep it anyways. Because I really want to. I don't want to be left out. Well, too bad. Well, you'll be really sad when you get left out of the kingdom of heaven, and you get left in the lake of fire, having your soul burn for basically ever. It's going to be a very long time. You need to stop that. Instead, keep things like the Feast of Tabernacles. You can read about it in the Bible. Keep the Feast of Dedication. It's in the book of Maccabees. Keep Purim. And don't get out of these pagan religions and holidays. Stop calling yourself a Christian, that's for sure. Because Christianity is based on paganism. And you need to repent, follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and keep the faith of Yahweh, Bahashem, Mashiach, Yahushua, who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus. And with that, shalom.
And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.